For some Warzone, just loading up, and then we'll hop in some games. I need to make a new loadout, so that's going to be like the first thing I'm doing. Let's have a look at what's going on. I don't think there's any new bundles today, no. Right, so I've been using Navargo a little bit. I don't like it, basically. It's like, it's not awful. There's nothing like super wrong with it, but it's just not spectacular in any way either. So I'm going to use the Kilo. I've used the Kilo before and I don't mind it. I've never really got on with it for long range stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I need to find a build for it, so I should probably look that up online. Kilo build Warzone. Charlie Intel, how long ago is that? This was 1 day ago, so let's use Charlie Intel's one. So, monolithic, of course. Why would you use anything else? The bow, the 19.8 Prowler, yeah, optic, VLK, people love that thing. Commando foregrip instead of tactical. I like the default one better, the black one. And then 60 round mags, that'll probably be handy. So, that's what we're going to go with. I've actually got the gold version of this, so let's use that, shall we? And then we'll customize it and be like Meta, Kilo. And we'll save it and then see how we get on. Just going to be using it with a pistol for now because I quite like having high alert. I don't know what map to go on. Oh, Fortune's Keep. We'll play some Fortune's Keep. Haven't played much of that for the last few days. Good morning, Coric and Boards. How's it going? I'm not too bad, thank you. Got an eye infection, which I don't know if you can see, my right eye is all messed up, but such is life. Got to go to the doctor's later. See if I can get some antibiotics, because I'm away on holiday next week. And I don't really want to have my eye all swollen up. So I'm going to see if I can get some antibiotics and fix it. That's the idea. I did that annoying thing of ringing the doctors and just being like, can I just have some antibiotics, please? Same Kilo build as always. Yeah, it doesn't seem... I mean, like, a lot of the Modern Warfare builds are like, you know, Monolithic Suppressor, Commando foregrip, VLK. And then it's like the barrel and the magazine tends to be the thing that you have to be careful because, you know, some barrels are really weird and some magazines have, like, you know, big problems for... like aim down sight speed or something like that, which would be a problem. You know what I'd like to see, and I know this would be unpopular, so get ready for an unpopular opinion. What I'd like to see in Modern Warfare 2 is something a little, not a lot, but a little bit more like the Escape from Tarkov system. But hear me out here, not like you picking up guns from other people, but you like investing in a weapons platform a bit more. So it's like, imagine if you had to earn money by playing, like, I don't know, Warzone matches or whatever. So you earn money by playing Warzone matches and completing challenges and stuff like that, and then you got to choose to spend money. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy this Kilo, and this Kilo is gonna have, you know, it's going to be fit for this kind of ammo, or it's going to be fit for, like, it's going to have a top rail on, stuff like that, and you can modify that 1 Kilo, but you can't just swap in, like, whatever you want. Like, you know, when you have some of the guns in this game, you can be like, oh, today I'm going to use 9mm ammo, tomorrow I'm going to use, like, 50 cal ammo, and it's like, that's just silly. I'd like it if there was a little bit more permanence, I guess, to the guns. I think that'd be interesting. Problem is then when they do a patch and they change a meta and it's like the gun that you've spent all of your money on is like now not competitive because they did a balance patch. Ooh, didn't mean to drop down there, that was a surprise. But not a terrible one.
Supply box located.
There's someone above. I think all of these people are above, aren't they?
Enemy UAV active.
Yeah.
UAV active.
Just getting out of there because I figure like that other guy's gonna come back. Might. I think I'll be able to kill someone if they go for that.
Enemy UAV active.
Someone gonna drop down there and go for that. Could do the zombies thing, really. No, they're not going for it.
Loadout drop on the way.
They can, whoever just killed someone up there.
UAV active.
Didn't really mean for it to go over there, but it's gonna have attracted attention that I don't really want.
Enemy UAV active.
Oh, I got my key though, at least. Huh. I wonder if that thing is still there. Oh, portable redeploy balloon.
Enemy UAV active.
Portable redeploy balloon is exciting. I haven't actually picked one of these up yet. Right, so it looks like they did get that, or that person died. One of the two.
Enemy UAV active.
I don't like being down here. Should we see if we can...
Our loadout drop inbound. Enemy cluster strike. Watch your head.
Don't know where that guy went to.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Why can't I go out there?
Take that gas. Go stop us.
That was interesting. That I broke that, I hit that guy's armor up there.
Enemy UAV active.
I hate being over here. I don't know why I came over to the lighthouse. Really don't like it. Can I sneak all the way up to the top? How well do you think that's going to go for me? Did he drop down here before? I can't climb up the ladder to sneak, can I?
Only 25 remain.
This is the tensest I've ever been in a game of Warzone. Oh my goodness. Oh no! You doesn't matter how slow you go, like how slow you ever go, you still end up making noise. It's like the noise is done on like progress instead. The noise is done on progress instead of being done on like speed. So you can go up super creepy, you can go up like that super slowly, but it doesn't matter because like you're gonna get heard. Still, that's very funny. I don't mind. Mario Madness, don't talk about leaks in the chat, please. People should know that by now. Don't talk about leaks, don't talk about leaks. And if people, bods, if you're about a modding, please delete leaks as soon as you see them. Don't wait for someone. Don't wait for it to be called out.
Enemy UAV active. Stay vigilant. Resurgence window is about to close. Enemy UAV active. Prices are back.
No worries. No, yeah, I figured you were at work. I was just saying, don't worry about waiting.
Hostile dropping into the area.
No, but Mario, no, bods, the leak is before that. You're literally talking, Mario, about a mode that people only have, the only people that have talked about it are leakers. Like, there's never been anything official about that mode that you were referencing. There we go. So how about we don't talk about things that are leaked, and we just wait for, like, the official stuff on this channel. God, I've only got one kill. This is very slow. Okay, I do not want to be stuck down there. I hate being stuck down there. I need to put some stim grenades in instead, not stim grenades, some stun grenades instead of...
You're in the top 10, nice job.
Yeah, I need some stun grenades because I can't push with this build. I think this build would require reliance on really good movement and positioning. I can wait down here, I don't think there's anyone over here.
Enemy advanced UAV. Oh, you've got gas moving in. Enemy UAV active.
We need data.
Okay, there we go.
UAV beginning flyover.
There's one,
There, I'm going. I see movement.
Oh! Literally couldn't see him.
Next time.
He was just behind that bush and I literally couldn't see him whatsoever. I didn't even have an idea that person was there.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for
You're gonna try out the Disrespect game when it comes. Yeah, I got like obviously the free founders access, so it's meant the playable thing is meant to be tonight. I don't have like high hopes for it. I think it's gonna be very limited. You know, this is their first thing, and they're saying that they're gonna release a build every 6 weeks. I don't think we're going to get much today, but I'll play it. I'll probably stream it if like. As long as it doesn't launch too late, because I think the event it's being launched at starts at 10 o'clock UK time at night. And it's like, it's going to be 20 gigabytes, that's quite a big download. But once it's downloaded, I'll stream it, load it up, first impressions, all of that sort of stuff. How did he see me? What do you mean, how did he see me? He had a UAV. So one person had an advanced UAV and one other person had a normal UAV, so easy to tell that I was over there. Then he just came to have a look. Can't believe you bought the NFT, Mario Madness. Why? Why would you spend $50 to buy an NFT to be able to test a game that's probably like 3 years away from being like, you know, a fun game? I'd love to be wrong. I'd love if the playable build was good. I just don't think it will be. And you know, it doesn't matter because like obviously whatever they release today, if it's literally the worst thing in the world, doesn't matter because they'll just be like, well, it's early, we're getting people down here on day 0, like no one's ever done this before, no one's ever had this kind of access before, and all the people will be like, oh yeah, it's like anyone who's complaining about it just doesn't understand game development. And then if it's really good, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's amazing, blah blah, and they'll forget that that means that they weren't in at day 0. You know, it's stupid. They've done this whole thing where they've said, they've made such a big deal of like, you know, and they've used it as an excuse for a lot of their shittier things. They've said like, oh, you know, we're doing all of this, like fans are involved from day 0, building the game, giving feedback. And it's like they're already at the point where they haven't released a screenshot, a video, they haven't asked a single question of the kind of community in terms of game design. And now they're releasing something playable today. It's like, well, then you didn't involve people from day 0, did you? You've spent a while making something that's playable, and then you're going to ask people some questions, and I'm sure the questions will be like, what colour do you want the walls to be? You know, I'd love to be wrong, but it's going to be a waste of time. Dual Deagles are OP. I did hear something about the Desert Eagles. I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying something about that. Don't know. Hey, Fazza, thank you for becoming a tier 1 member. Appreciate that. Yeah, news fan. It's on Unreal Engine 5. It's on Unreal Engine 5, so it's I was talking to Jack Frex about this earlier, that if anyone's ever loaded up Unreal Engine, at least from Unreal Engine 3 onwards, I don't know about anything before, I'm pretty sure Unreal Engine 3, definitely 4, I think on 3 as well, like there's a thing when you first start up, like a first person shooter template where you literally click on it and it gives you a first person shooter, so you can run around, you can shoot, you can jump, you can interact with physics objects. I'm kind of, that's where my expectations are for this playable snapshot, is that it's basically gonna be that template with some target shooting and, you know, point scoring for shooting the targets. Like, that's something super easy to set up in Unreal. That's it. If they've got textures and lighting and stuff in it, I'll be really impressed. The fact that they've already said that they've released the minimum specs that you need to be able to play this playable snapshot are pretty high, so that makes me think maybe they've already added in a load of effects to make it look cool, in which case that'll make this playable snapshot like worth it, even if like it's not, you know, the most fun, there's not a lot of content in it. It'll give us an idea of what the game's going to look like. You know, give us an idea of like their art direction kind of thing, how that's going to work in Unreal Engine. So that could be cool. Like, that's kind of the best I'm hoping for, is that it'll look interesting. And the fact is 20 gigabytes, I'm sort of getting the impression 20 gigabytes will mean that there's going to be a 4K intro video or something to it. Like, that would explain 20 gigabytes pretty quickly. If you've got a video of, say, Dr. Disrespect talking to the camera and it's in 4K, That could easily get to 20 gigabytes. So yeah, I don't know what I don't quite know what to expect from it really. It just won't be unique. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just because something's on Unreal Engine 5 doesn't mean it'll be good. There's a lot of shit on Unreal Engine 4. Oh yeah, I mean, I think the NFT stuff is like an absolute disaster. It's like I think scam's a very strong word. I don't think it's like they're trying to take people's money and run, but I think they're using Dr. Disrespect's name and weird manipulation of people to get people into crypto. I think the point of this game is to get people into crypto and NFTs. Like that's, I think, the main purpose of it. And it's like, I'm sure there's some people who work there who want to make an amazing, you know, whatever this game is, Battle Royale game, Escape from Tarkov style game. But I don't think they have a team that can do that. Based on their experience, based on their past history of things that they've worked on. And I don't think the way they're going around it is conducive to making a good game. I think the way that they're going about it is based around trying to get money out of people by getting them to buy NFTs and crypto and merch and stuff like that. And they're doing that without actually having a game. You know, they've convinced a load of people to spend $50 on this when there's no game. And I think that's like something that, like, you know, people have been like, oh well, it was fine when Star Citizen did it, and it's like, it wasn't fine when Star Citizen did it. Everyone was complaining about it and saying like how scammy it was what Star Citizen were doing. It's a miracle that Star Citizen have ended up with a game that's really interesting. But well, not a miracle, they've got an insane amount of money, haven't they? That's how they've done it.
Enemy soldier nearby.
Oh, I thought I could get him then. Well, GG to that guy. PUBG was an early access game for years, didn't have much besides DayZ mods and such. That's not true. I played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds the day it came out. It was a pretty fully featured game the day it came out. It worked. It was very, very different from the DayZ mods that came before it. From the moment you could buy PUBG, it was a full Battle Royale game. Bear in mind that that was at a time where Battle Royale games like that hadn't really existed before. That was not, like, that's very, very different to what Midnight Society have done, where they've not released a screenshot or a video of the game, not really described the game in any detail, but they've sold 10,000 $50 NFTs for it. That's a very different thing. And then they've done this weird thing, which is the thing that I don't understand the most about the community. That they've gone around saying like, oh, well, like, obviously this is going to be great because look at the experience of the team. And it's like, who on that team is the super experienced, amazing person who's like behind the game? You've got Robert Bowling, who used to be a community manager on Call of Duty. And then he's been in between working on Call of Duty and now he's worked on a couple of like shit mobile games, and then he was developing a game for the Ouya which had some crowdfunding, I think, and then got cancelled without ever releasing. Like, what about that makes you think he's going to be amazing? You got Dr. Disrespect, who is, I would like to emphasize, a fictional character. Oh, I thought he jumped down. I thought he jumped off. That was stupid. Hey, Flynn, I'm good, thank you.
You've
cool.
Learn from the loss and come back stronger.
Yeah, I didn't do very well there. Yeah, $50 for the concept art is pretty awful. Dr. Disrespect was a Call of Duty dev at a time. Yeah, he worked at Sledgehammer, didn't he? That Call of Duty studio that everyone loves so much, everyone thinks amazing. And he worked on Advanced Warfare, which I actually really liked as a Call of Duty game. But, you know, isn't seen as the best Call of Duty game. And I'd like to, you know, emphasize, he wasn't a level designer for very long. Like, how long was his career in working as a level designer? Career. So Dr. Disrespect, this is his game, this is his gaming development career. In 2011, he was appointed as a community manager for Sledgehammer Games. Then he was promoted to level designer at some point between 2011 and 2015, and then he quit in 2015. So, assuming he was a community manager for at least a year, he has 3 years experience of being a level designer, level developer. But he only worked on one game, which was Advanced Warfare, which lots of people, whenever I bring up that I love Advanced Warfare, people are like, oh, it's like the worst Call of Duty.
Nothing I couldn't handle.
So yeah, like they've got, those are the people that they're doing. And like, bear in mind, when they say, oh, people working on the game, they don't say Guy Beamer's working on the game, you know, Guy Beam level designer. They say Dr. Disrespect. And when I did some work with them, I made a video for them, for Midnight Society. I was like, oh hey, can you like, as part of this video you want me to make, could you get Dr. Disrespect, you know, just saying like a sentence to camera, get footage of that so then I can put it in the video. And they were like, oh well, we'll speak to his agent and see if we can get that to happen. And they never did, they couldn't. So it's like, I don't think Dr. Disrespect is very heavily involved in Midnight Society. I think he's very much like, you know, he's a public face, he's like a persona. He's not going to be making the game. He's a full-time streamer, full-time content creator. He's just attached his face to this company. So yeah, it's I don't think there's any reason to trust him. Then you look at the other people who work at Midnight Society, and there's like 3 of them, I think, are people who were environment artists on Halo Infinite. So they are people that started working on a live service game that I would personally say is the worst Halo game, and then left as soon as the game came out, or before the game came out. They all quit that company. And they're all environment artists. There's one guy who worked on Gears of War that he had quite a good record of like games that he'd worked on. There was one person who'd done that. They've already had one person leave. I think it was a community manager. One person left because they said the management was toxic there. It's just, my point isn't that I'm not saying, oh, they'll never be able to make an amazing game or they'll never be able to make a success of it. My point is there's no reason to believe them at this point. There's no reason to trust them. There's nothing, the stuff that they're presenting as reasons to trust in them are completely insubstantial. Like, they are a very small team with not a huge amount of experience between them, saying that they're going to make a AAA experience, like there's a cross between, you know, Escape from Tarkov, Battle Royale experience that's going to fix all of the problems that those other games have. And it's like, there's no reason to believe any of that's true or possible at all. But I mean, the people who support it a lot, the people who support it, you know, kind of blindly, are people who listen to Dr. Disrespect going on stream saying like, oh, like all the problems with Warzone, they're like rookie errors, it'd be super easy to fix these problems, it'd be super easy to make like the footstep audio better, or it'd be super easy to make the hit registration better, or stuff like that. Which is just very obviously bullshit. Like, if there's any adults at this point who look at something like Warzone and are like, oh, they're lazy, they could easily do something better than that, you're an absolute idiot. Like, just, I've got no respect for someone with that kind of opinion at all. It's just absolute nonsense. Like, it doesn't make any kind of logical sense. All it does is expose that you're willing to talk about shit that you've got no idea about. Like, the fact that Warzone works as well as it does is an astounding accomplishment. And it's taken 11 different studios working on it to get it to the point where it is now. And huge amounts of investment to the point, you know, where Call of Duty, one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world, like, you know, easily top 5, they've put their main focus on this one game. And then you've got a studio of like 10 people saying like, yeah, we can do better than that. Like, that's just nonsense. I would have a lot more respect for them if they were a lot more humble about it, if they were like, we're gonna take this in a different route, we're gonna try and focus on like these areas that we think like that Warzone went in the wrong direction with, we're gonna try this different monetization model and stuff like that, and we're gonna learn as we go. That would be a lot better than them coming out saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna make like a genre-defining game, we're gonna be a AAA studio. Like, they don't even have an office yet, like they all work remotely. Damn, advanced movement. I love that advanced warfare. Yeah. Well, the audio thing is just like, it's one of those things that like really exposes almost a willful ignorance about how complicated games are.
You've made it to the top 5.
That like, people who think the audio in Warzone could be a lot better easily are people who think that games just work like real life. That it's like, well, this person's walking and they're walking on this surface, therefore you should be able to hear them in this way. Almost as if some developer has been like, oh, I can't be bothered to check that works, or they've broken it on purpose or something like that. And it's like, think of how complex someone walking in Warzone, like, think of how complex a footstep audio is. That like, so when a player moves in Warzone, they are moving on a certain material, you know, like you've got to decide whether it's concrete or wood or gravel or dust or brick or whatever, things like that. You've got to think about how fast they're moving. So, you know, a heavy footstep is going to be different to a light footstep and stuff like that, whether they're crouching or not, whether they've got dead silence or not, stuff like that. So you've got all of those different things that would create a different sound, because, you know, you've got to think the footstep is a sound file at the end of the day. So you've got all of those different sounds, you've got to detect what it is. Then you've got to work out how far that sound is going to go. So are you going to do it in like a sphere around the player? Like, and is it going to be like, you know, different, like almost level of detail thing, right? As you get further away, it's going to be quieter. But then what about walls and doors and windows? How are they going to affect that? How are you going to make the game do it? Are you going to do like ray tracing for audio, which I know some games have talked about doing, but will obviously be very expensive. The idea of making it so the sound waves actually move through the game world, and whatever they're sort of interfacing with will change the nature of the sound, you know, making it deeper, making it more muffled, making it more tinny, whatever's happening, things like that. So you've got all of that going on for a footstep. Then you've got, what, 150 players or 40 players or 100 players or 200 players or whatever, depending on the thing, all doing that at the same time every time they move in the game. All of that information about those audio sources has to be given to everybody else who's in their area, who's near them, which could be everybody in the lobby. So that's extra data that's then got to be transmitted along with, you know, whether someone's shooting, where someone's aiming, how much health they've got, how much ammo they've got, what gun they're using, like, oh, blah, 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 all of that stuff. Like, it's a mind-bogglingly complex thing just to make a footstep. And then you've got like the whole thing of like priorities of like what's going to be more important to you, that when you shoot the game works out exactly like when you shot, where that bullet went, how much damage it did, and you get feedback as quickly as possible, or that the footsteps sound absolutely perfectly natural. I would imagine the shooting's probably going to get priority, so that means a lot of footstep stuff, you know, they'll cut it back a little bit, they'll simplify it a little bit, they'll make it a bit easier. because it's less of important, and then it will end up in a situation where it works 95% of the time, like footsteps work fine, and then every now and then something weird will happen, like something odd will happen, where like you'll be like, oh, I should have heard that but I didn't, or I heard that person and it sounded like they're in the same room but they were actually above or below. And it's like, that's the one you're going to notice, because you don't notice all of the other footsteps that worked perfectly fine for you. Like, no one's ever going to do a YouTube video being like, hey, this guy was running down a corridor and he sounded like he was running down a corridor. Like, no one's going to make that video, and that happens millions of times. And then one person's like, oh, this guy didn't seem to make any footsteps when he landed, and then people, like, you know, lose their minds. It's like utter nonsense. But it doesn't matter, because someone like Dr. Disrespect would be like, oh, there's no audio, these lazy devs can't make the audio work. And then, like, his fans won't think about it. Like, they won't go into that, they won't question him at all. They'll just be like, oh yeah, well, he must know because he was a level designer on Call of Duty. And it's like, there's no, like, it's just bad critical thinking, isn't it? But like, I understand like the point, kind of what I guess kind of what Mario's saying, or what Etta's saying there. Like, you could think, oh, there's different ways of doing it, but my point is that it's a horrendously complex and difficult technical thing. Before you even get to what you want the audio to be like, we've got no idea what the audio can be like. We've got no idea what the limits are. Like, what are the limits about how much information about audio can be transmitted? You've also got the problem. I was watching something, was I watching something or was I reading something? I was reading something about, I think I was reading something about one of the other Call of Duties, and someone in this these comments was complaining about some game about the audio, the footsteps being too loud, because they were saying it helps campers too much. Because you can hear when people are running around the building, you can tell where they are, and then you can prepare for them. So then, like, if you make the footstep audio too loud, or you give people the option to make footstep audio loud, then people will be like, oh, well then that's like a massive, you know, that's a massive unfair thing that promotes camping. And then if you make it too quiet, people say like, oh, well this isn't fair because now people can sneak up on you and you never know they're going. So it's like, on top of all of the technical problems, it's not even clear what they should be aiming for, because different people want different things and different people get annoyed about different things. My main annoyance in all of this really is twofold. One, I really hate it when people are acting as if developers are lazy, as if the developers of something like Call of Duty are lazy. I'm sure there are some game developers that are lazy, but I imagine their games don't ever come out. But like, the people that work on Call of Duty are very clearly not lazy or incompetent or anything like that. They're doing something pretty amazing. And I just really wish... Why is that not picking up? Oh, that's 2 kills there for me. That was a good play, I think. I'm very proud of that. But yeah, people say stupid things about developers, and it annoys me, because I think, I really like the Call of Duty games. And then people are like, oh, you're just like a shill for Activision or something. It's like, what, as if, oh crap in hell. Didn't see him coming. Didn't know he was there at all. As if, like, Activision pay me to say nice things about... Just nonsense. I'd love it if Activision paid me to say nice things about the game. I'd happily work for marketing for Activision. Oh yeah, TJ Blades. I mean, that's been the big problem for Warzone, hasn't it? I know it's probably happened for other games as well. Whoa! That guy's movement was really good. Mine was not. No, I think what TJ Blades is saying is true. All big content creators influence people. It's just how they use that influence. They have to be aware that they're using that influence. So if you have someone, if you have a big content creator saying, oh, game developers are lazy, and that's what, and like this game's shit because the game developers are lazy. People will blindly believe that. If you've got big content creators saying every time they die, oh, that's clearly a hacker, that person was hacking, like there's no way they could have hit those shots, or there's no way they could have known I was there. Then everyone else, loads of people who watch them will be like, oh, well then clearly, when I die, it must be like this guy, it must be because of a hacker. It's good to like be aware of what like influence you have. Luckily, I mean, I'm not a big content creator, so I can say whatever I want. I'm not influencing anyone. I try to with like the one time when I would love to be able to influence people is changing the way people talk about leaks and spoilers. If I ever had an impact on the gaming community, I mean, obviously I'd like it to be something more noble, you know, like I'd love to end racism or misogyny or something like that. But being a white middle class man, it's quite hard to end those things. I mean, it's hard for anyone, but you know what I mean. It feels weird to talk about racism and misogyny too much when you're like someone who's had a life of immense privilege, because I'm like, you know, the other side of it, the other side that doesn't get made fun of. And then the but something like a can effect is the whole spoilery thing, you know, maybe just by like calling it out a little bit. There was quite a cool thing last night. I tweeted at Paul Tassi, who's a gaming journalist who I follow for Destiny stuff. And he was talking about how ridiculous it was that there's some new Digimon game, and in this Digimon game they've said to players, hey, for the first 2 months after the game's come out, can you not talk about what happens in the story after chapter 5? And he was kind of making fun of it, as if like, what a ridiculous thing to do, to ask fans not to talk about the game, blah blah blah. And then I said to him like, oh, well, there's like actually this quite cool thing where like there's a theme park ride, and this is true. There's a theme park ride, and I'm not going to say which one or anything, and I'd prefer if people in chat didn't say which one if they know what it is. There's a theme park ride, but at the end of it, there's actually a little video that says, hey, can you not tell people what happened? Because, like, the surprise is the fun thing, so let's not spoil this, let's not put it on social media, let's keep it a secret. And, as far as I know, and I read a lot of stuff to do with theme parks. I'm on a lot of the forums and Reddits, and I watch a lot of videos. I've never seen anyone talk about it. I've never seen anyone talk about what that thing was, and it's not like an obscure thing. It's like, you know, quite a popular thing. And it's like I've never seen anyone spoil it. And it's like, that's really cool, because that makes that experience more exciting. And the reason I thought that was interesting, just going back to my point about like influencing people, is then I said this to Paul Tassi, and he replied, and he was like, well, now I really want to know what that is. And it's like, suddenly excitement has been built. Suddenly someone doesn't know something, and now they want to, and that's building excitement. It's like, can you imagine if we had that with games? If people weren't just, you know, like Mario today coming into the stream and like, you know, you just casually talking about a mode that's not been announced for Modern Warfare. Imagine if Infinity Ward could hype up that there was a mystery mode coming to Modern Warfare and no one knew what it was, and then they'd have like trailers teasing it, and then when people, you know, maybe they could even keep it going all the way to when the game launched, and then people load up the game and they're like, oh my god, there's this new thing. Like, this has happened before in Call of Duty. That's how zombies started. As far as I'm aware, nobody knew about zombies before World at War came out. That I didn't hear anyone ever mention it. It wasn't in any marketing or anything like that. First time I heard about World at War Zombies. Oh my god, he got killed by the zombies. Speaking of zombies, the first time I heard about World at War Zombies was when I finished a World at War campaign, and it happened. And it's like, that's a lot cooler than reading it in some tweet on bloody IGN or something, isn't it? Man, I'd love it if we didn't have spoilers. It's even to the point of like I've tried to do it a little bit with the Easter egg guides and stuff like that. I do the Easter egg guides because they're very popular videos and I like explaining stuff. It's fun working out how these things work and then explaining them to people. But I've tried in the last few to not show too much of like what happens when you do stuff. I've tried to be like, these are the steps you need to do. but trying not to show in the video too much of like, okay, then this happens and this happens, and explain it and things like that. So, you know, if there's a cool little effect or something. And it's like, I think I might do more of that in future, of just trying to keep some of the mystery. And it's like annoying because obviously other people who make Easter egg guides aren't going to do that. You know, like everyone else is going to have their own styles and their own way of doing things, and other people are going to make videos showing it off. But it'd be cool to preserve some mystery if we could get back to a bit of that in games where you discovered stuff in games. I think that'd be fun. Where did it say 300 ping? Oh, you're not. But Mario, you were sharing a leak. You were talking about a mode. You named a mode that hasn't been announced other than in leaks. That's you. That is you spreading leaks. You just casually bringing up in conversation something that hasn't been talked to, like hasn't been revealed officially at all. That is you spreading leaks, and I just don't think people should do that. I think. I mean, genuinely, I think it's like a moral thing as well, that it's like, it's really shitty for these things to get, like, taken out of the hands of the people that are making them. I think that's really unfair. But also, I think it's just bad for players. You know what will happen? Like it does every year, when we get the first Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer trailer, there'll be a bunch of stuff in it that people would have seen because, like, Mon Warzone talked about it, or Tom Henderson talked about it, or fucking some data miner talked about it or something. And people will just be like, oh, that trailer was crap, that was just stuff we already knew. It's like... It literally happens every year. It's very annoying. You get these really cool cinematic trailers and the big reveals fall flat or they feel boring because it's already been leaked. And people have just been openly talking about the leaks for months. Well, no, I mean, ETA, they exist to make money and to try and build a following, and, like, it's just an easy way to do that. You post new information that you think you have and other people don't have. That is an easy way to get views, because there's a big market in leaks. Lots of people want leaks. And that's what I don't like. Mario, you upbeat. I feel like you're missing my point here, Mario. In this chat, you're the one only one that has spread leaks here today. And I'm guessing there's a lot of people that follow, you know, Mon Warzone and Tom. I mean, Mon Warzone, I think, do less of it now, don't they? Because he's been doing so much stuff with Call of Duty. I'm guessing he calmed down a bit because he's realised it would harm the relationship. Are leaks also part of marketing strategy of studios? By and large, no. Like, I'm sure there are individual times where a studio has tried to create some viral marketing by leaking something to, you know, like a journalist or something, and like trying to create some buzz for the game. That is not what's happening with Call of Duty. Or any big game, really, I don't think. Like, any games that have like a proper marketing budget and stuff like that, they obviously want to control the information to build hype, to build excitement with a really strict timetable, because they want to keep the hype going. They want there to be like certain peaks, you know, when they want pre-orders or whatever. There's like a plan, and the leaks aren't a part of that plan. And it's like, I know the people, I know there's leakers, or there's always leakers who are like, oh, well, like, it's really important what we do. Like, the developers love us because we create hype for it, and like, we're the main way that we keep hype going for stuff. And then you have like actual developers saying, we hate it, it's heartbreaking, it's like really kind of ruined stuff, it like really like we feel awful when it happens. And then it's like people are believing the leakers. And it's like, oh, what? So the leakers are saying, no, we're great, everybody loves us, everybody wants us to leak things. And then you've got the actual people that are making the game saying, no, we can't stand it, it's heartbreaking, it's terrible. You know, just over the last year, there's been people from Activision saying that, there's been people from Bungie saying that. There've been, like, people from Naughty Dog talking about it a lot. I listened to a podcast where there's Alana Pierce and Troy Baker and a couple of other game developers. Like, they're all people who work on games. And they've been talking about on the podcast about how much everyone, like, hates it. And then, but it's like the leakers are like, oh, no, we totally build hype. Like, we're really good for the games. It's like absolute bullshit. Hey, Mr. J, I'm good. So let's just go. I'm just reading the chat. Also, leaks are part of marketing strategy. Leaks, no. So that's what I was talking about. Robert Hall should call them drips. Just, I don't know. I don't know what you should call them. It's just, I just think like the only way anything is going to change to do with them is if people start seeing them as a bad thing and calling them out as a bad thing. Like at the moment, I feel like I'm going crazy that you have people saying game reveals and game trailers are boring and gaming events are boring because nothing's a surprise. And then you've got people sharing and talking about leaks all the time. And they're not making the connection that by doing that thing, they're ruining their thing. It's just like, you know, if a new movie's coming out, if you go onto Wikipedia and read what happens in the story before you go, you will enjoy that movie less. Like that seems obvious. But that's what people are doing. They're finding out everything they can about a game before it's revealed. And then the game gets revealed and they're like, well, that's boring. We already knew about that. And it's like all this stuff, you know, there's been a load of leaks about Grand Theft Auto 6 over this week. And like part of the thing that I think Eurogame were posting about it. And they're just posting it on their front page. Big leaks about the stories. And then they're saying, oh, and the game's not going to come out for 2 years. And it's like, so how in any way is this going to make GTA 6 better? How in any way is it going to make the thing? The story bit of that, the newsworthy story bit of that whole thing was GTA 6 is at least 2 years away. That is news, that is gaming news, that's interesting, that's not ruining anything about the game, it's just information about it. Absolutely fine, I've got no problem with that. Talking about who the main characters are going to be and what the story is going to be and stuff like that, all that's doing is making it so when you do find that stuff out in a trailer or whatever, you're like, oh yeah, we knew about this 2 years ago. Like, that's absolute bullshit. So boring. Hey, Mirojo. I'm just ranting about leaks. The only problem you have is just the inconsistency in footsteps. You understand what saying getting killed and seeing kill cam and guy running and jumping, you had zero audio. But like I said, that's because that's the times you notice it. And it's like you're not noticing the hundreds or thousands of times that you do hear the audio. It's just like sometimes things go wrong. Same reason, you know, sometimes you have visual glitches, sometimes you have control glitches, sometimes you have lag and stuff. It's like the game is insanely complex. Like right now, I'm loading up a game of Warzone and I'm getting matched up with 40 other people, probably somewhere across the continent, you know, across Western Europe probably, all at the same time, and we're playing a game that I'm running at like 140 frames per second. And it feels unbelievably responsive. You know, when I aim, it aims. When I jump, it jumps. When I move, it moves. When I shoot, it shoots. And I can see all of those other people doing the same thing. To me, it feels instant. You know, it feels instantaneous. That's a miracle. That's absolutely insane that that works. And it's like, occasionally something goes wrong with that. But it's like, more often than not, it doesn't though. It's the exception, and that's why it's so noticeable. It's not enough to then be like, oh, the developers are lazy because, you know, every now and then footsteps don't work. Oh no, it's fine, Garrett Brown. Gumball is very entertained by the fact that I'm bald. I'm glad my hair loss pleases you. you can't wait for the Terminator skins. The Terminator skins look a lot cooler than I thought they would. It looks like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one is like you, at some point, I don't know whether it's getting kills or whatever, you turn into like the exoskeleton. And if you're playing as the T-1000, you turn into like liquid metal. Like, that's cool. We haven't seen something like that before, I don't think. I mean, we've seen ones where they glow differently based on kills, but this is like quite a big change. Looks awesome. I mean, I'm sure people understand that legend, and people will get them if they want to. Weird thing to tell people what to do. Yeah, I assume so, Mario. I assume it's a kills thing.
Resurgence. Gas is approaching your position. Get to the safe zone.
30 or 40 years, it was something we can only dream of. I mean, I would say the idea of having something like that in a game is something that I wouldn't have believed would happen 10 years ago. What sort of games were we playing 10 years ago? No! He's there, isn't he? Or was that just a lamppost that I saw? I thought I saw him there. No idea where that guy went. God damn it. If I'd had a Semtex, I would have been able to kill him, but well. Such is life.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Thanks for the deletes, boards. You love Fortune's Keep? Yeah, I've been having a good time with it.
Target locked. Bring it down.
Got your request.
I don't have any armor, so I'm in trouble. I'm sorry. That C4 stuck to him. It didn't even break his armor. I literally put C4 on a man, detonated it, and he was okay. What was that about? I'm never using C4 again. I can't believe how little that did. If he'd been like, oh, we had EOD and he just survived it, to be honest, I'd still be like, that's bullshit. I am dumbfounded that that didn't work. Like, I got the hit marker for hitting him with the C4.
Enemy UAV.
Thank you. No, I know he didn't have VOD. He just tanked a C4 to the chest. I am absolutely fuming about it.
Loadout drop on the way.
There's a guy there. I don't have enough bullets.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone highlighted.
I haven't seen the 5476 bug legend.
Get cash reserves. IPA. UAV active. Enemy UAV active. Five remaining.
Is he just up there, do you think? Oh, screw it.
Enemy soldier nearby.
God, I do not like this.
Losing ground. Move it. Enemy precision airstrike.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, of the Kido over range. That's a lot harder to use than I'm used to. The damage might be good, but if I can't hit people, not for me. It might just be I need to get used to the recoil, but that was a worry. Need ammo, I'm just going to use Nebula 5 rounds just to like give me an extra 60 shots. Sounds like he's got an auto shotgun. If he's got a shotgun, why am I running around trying to chase him?
Enemy soldiers nearby. You got gas inbound. Station costs are adjusted.
That was messy as hell. Oh, he killed a shieldy boy. I want a shield. Woohoo! Oh no, get gamed up.
Prices are back to normal.
Target locked. Bring it down.
Well, that nearly killed me.
Enemy soldiers nearby.
Nice. Fuck.
Gas is right on your tail.
Oh, guys above me. Didn't realize. Above, aren't they? Huh. Got a gas mask.
Enemy soldier nearby.
Okay, that shouldn't have made me cough, but why can't I climb up this?
Closing in.
Oh.
Safe zone.
We need radar. Send recon.
UAV beginning flyover.
Okay, this should be okay, I think. This should be an okay route out.
Enemy soldier nearby. UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Huh. So someone there, but he's gonna go around there, and someone there.
See movement.
10 remain.
We'll see how it goes.
Within reach. Gas is inbound.
Still buzzing from that shield kill, to be honest. Right, don't want to deal with that tower. Can't shoot that far. Oh my god, there's so many people.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
They're higher up.
Get to the new safe zone. Gas
Okay, I
is
can go
closing
back
in.
outside, so that's not too bad.
Gas is right on your tail.
That cough was very, very frustrating.
Only 5 left. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Target locked. Bring it down.
Strike inbound.
Woohoo!
Wiped out.
Jesus Christ! So, I like the Keto for those kind of close to mid-range encounters. Might go well with a sniper rifle, maybe? Oh, the adrenaline was real at the end there. What's that? 9 kills. That's a pretty good win for me. Thank you very much, Callum. Yeah, like, I still don't think the Kilo is, like, incredible. It's not, you know, it's not like, oh, the Kilo's the new NZ or the STG or anything like that. It's nowhere near that. I'm, like, there was nothing in that game where I think the Kilo was better than basically any other gun. I could have done all of that with an MP5. Like, the Cold War MP5 would have been fine for any of that. Or the M13 would have been fine. The M13 would have been a bit better at distance, I think. It's fine. The Kilo's fine. It's, like, usable, for sure. But I don't think it's super overpowered. It's definitely not a laser. Pretty good for a solo game. Yeah, like, I was happy with that for a solo game. Oh, bit like Thank you very much, Mr. J, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I love the fact that you super chat, Mr. J. When I came to YouTube, I thought everyone was going to be super chatting. I was like, I'm going to be rich. Everyone's going to be constantly super chatting all the time, and I was super excited. And now,
Lovely
I have you every day super chatting, and I very much appreciate it. You're very
Party
kind.
Popper, hot face, fist, GG's.
Party Popper, hot face fist. That's the way forward. Do. FFR caught a buff too. Maybe I'll try using that as well. I don't actually have a build for the FFR. What is it? This one? Ah, this gun's cool. I love this gun. I'm not like I do need to check the attachments, but is it the FFR from Cold War? I don't know if there's another one. That's good. I'm just going to keep everything else the same. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to keep... Literally, I'm just going to put it in the shredder. Because this is the coolest. Not the coolest, but one of the coolest guns. Try the Krig. Haven't used the Krig in ages. The alert isn't late. It's just basically like... Well, I mean, it is late, but it's always late. It's like Stream Elements gets the YouTube notifications a little while after they appear in chat. That's fine. And then you obviously get a delay as well.
Take this time to ready up.
Did you see they took domination away from Modern Warfare multiplayer? No? Weird. Maybe there just wasn't that many people playing it or something. Look at this. Good. Do. Like, this is one of the best blueprints. Do I know how you get the Terminator 2 skins? You buy them, Mr. J. You buy both of them, they're just bundles. Yeah!
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment.
Oh, that recoil's horrible. Do. Ba ba da ba ba da. Ba ba da ba da ba ba da boo ba boo da boo ba da boo boo boo. Tomographic tweeting what I think is quite a bad take. He just tweeted that modern games lack replayability and developers just care about making a quick buck and they don't care about how long players play their games. I don't think that's true. Look at how many games as a service there are. I feel like too many games are designed with insane grinds where people want you to be playing it forever and they don't want you to ever play any other games. Like, there's too many games to... Like, there's more games than people can play at the moment. Like, I'd love to, right now to be playing World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 15 and Destiny and The Division. And... Probably a million other games. But I just don't have the time. I don't have any armor, either. I'd like to play Ark, I'd like to be playing... Oh, I don't know why I just ran out there. I should have gone out the window! Wasn't thinking. I did kind of just want to spectate in this game. Not just saying that now. 100% you will have to buy those skins. Titanium Chrome might just be a style for one of those skins or something.
Time to fight.
You're just glad with the new update that gave us the Blixen.
So is a heavy rock.
What? Do 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 do.
The fight has begun. Get ready to tussle. You're on. You win
Right,
this
let's go.
fight and you return to the front line, but if you lose, you're done. Prove you can still fight, soldier.
How did I not hit him?
Next time will be different.
Look at his health. Oh, he was so good at using that cover. GG to that man. Like, I could understand him killing me because I was standing kind of out in the open there. But I did not expect to miss every single shot. That was shocking. Oh, they unlocked the Season 1 free guns through. Yeah, like, that sort of stuff. I don't know. It's shocking a bigger deal hasn't been made of that. That, like, that's something I don't think anyone expected to do. Everyone's always been like, oh, you know, they're really money hungry and they just need you to buy Vanguard and stuff like that. And it's like, they just come out and be like, oh, hey, by the way, for Vanguard, all of the guns from Season 1 to 3, you just have now in Warzone. Like, you're welcome. And then like, oh, the new gun with the challenge and stuff. Yeah, instead of having to play 15 games, you can just do it in one game. You're welcome. And like, no one makes a big deal of that. But like, you can bet as soon as there's some kind of error or glitch or something, there'll be a million tweets about it saying like, oh my god, Sledgehammer are the worst. I'm in an angry mood today about the Call of Duty community and the gaming community in general. It's like, I wish Twitter was like, I don't know what the word is. Almost like moderated to take stupid and bad takes away. I think if I don't know. I don't know what the answer is at all. I just get annoyed at other people being stupid and negative and weirdly entitled and like, and they take things too seriously. Like, you know, we're all playing, like everyone is playing Call of Duty. You're playing a toy basically. You're playing something very silly. It's a silly little game to entertain people. And it's like, I almost wish like there was an AI that when you were about to post a tweet or a Reddit post or a comment in Twitch, it would just look at you and be like, you posted a lot of negative shit lately. Like, do you want to maybe just not talk about Call of Duty for a bit because you're clearly not enjoying it? Or do you want to like go do something else instead of playing video games? Or do you want to like, or you know, like someone's about to like tag in a developer and say what a lazy piece of shit they are, and it could just be like, this person isn't at all responsible for the thing that you're complaining about. Like, do you really want to ruin their day? Do you want to make their day worse by them having to read your shitty little tweet, your shitty ignorant take? Or like you post something and it's just like saying like, you know, you're very underqualified to talk about this thing. Maybe you should shut the hell up. That's what I want in social media. That's what AI researchers should be working on. Just, you know, like in cartoons, we have like the little angel and the devil on the shoulder. I just want a little AI social interaction robot where it's like, this is, I mean, Twitter already does actually. Twitter has a thing. Occasionally, if you post, if you're like me and generally you post quite wholesome things on Twitter, and then occasionally I want to tweet something that's got like a swear word in it, sometimes Twitter will be like, do you actually want to post that? Because this doesn't sound like you. It comes up with some message where it's like, you know, like, you don't need to post something toxic. And more often than not, I just don't post it. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I do not need to say this. That's like one of the biggest things as a content creator I've like realized I need to work on, is just letting people be, and not like, if I see someone that's wrong about something, I feel like I've got this stupid urge to go and like correct them. And it's like, why? Especially when it's something about Call of Duty, like, who gives a shit? And you know, a big part of it is like ego, isn't it? It's like you knowing something that other people don't, and you want to make sure everyone's aware that you know stuff. And it's like, these are just randoms on the internet. And I think it hurts my chat sometimes, because you'll all know, sometimes someone will say something in chat and I'll like go after them. I'll be like, you know, why are you saying that? Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I was doing it a bit earlier with Mario with the leak thing. And it's like, nothing good is coming of this. There's no benefit to it. I'm not changing that person's mind. I'm not like changing the way that person thinks or anything. I'm just causing some aggro. And if there's one thing the world doesn't need more of, it's aggro. You know, there's a time and a place for causing someone grief and trying to get them to reevaluate their decisions. That's like, you know, if you meet Boris Johnson in the street, absolutely tell him he's a twat. If you meet like a content creator who, if you come across a stream of a content creator and you're like, that guy's bald, that's funny to me, I'm gonna tell him he's bald. Like, maybe just don't, because you know, that person, that bald content creator probably has feelings, and then because you made some stupid comment about him looking like an egg that you thought was funny, nobody else laughed, but you thought it was funny and you said it, and now he's going to spend the rest of the day being like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be on camera because, you know, people think I look like an egg. And it's like, that's not worth it, is it really? I don't know, I mean, some people are just psychopaths. They don't give a shit. Sociopaths, that's the word, isn't it? Not psychopaths, sociopaths. How's it going, Daniel? I don't know, I'm in a very ranty mood today. I've been ranting non-stop for an hour and 20 minutes now. About everything, about Midnight Society, about NFTs, about leaks, about people being toxic on the internet. I've just been on a non-stop rant. I did win a game in the middle of it, which was cool. But then I've also had loads of games where like this where I've got 1 kill, so not always great. And then there's like a million sex bots coming in my chat. No, that's the wrong word. I regret the phrasing of that immensely, I'm sorry. Just going back and reading chat because I've not been paying any attention. Have I seen replies to the Apex tweets? There's always people asking for free coins or skins because the game had a bug that barely affected the game. I mean, that's a different thing where people just try to see what they can get away with, innit? I feel like I do that to an like there's an extent of like, you know, if like a hotel's probably the worst ones for me, where if a hotel has mildly inconvenienced me in some way, I'll be like, can I get an upgrade out of this? Or an airline or something. I'll be like, can I get a free upgrade out of this? I'll never be like horrible to the staff, but I'll be a bit like, okay, what's like the most dramatically I can word my complaint in order to try and get something free out of it. I sort of empathize with the idea of if it's a big corporation, you're trying to get something free out of them. Don't know. As long as you're not actually stealing and you're not like verbally abusing someone, I think it's alright. It's almost a bit of a game. It's like, there's only 1 towel in my bathroom in a hotel. How dare you? We need 2 towels. And then it will like go further to be like, we only had 1 towel and both me and my wife started bleeding copiously from our eyes and we both needed a towel to mop up all of the blood, but there wasn't enough, and then that means that we nearly bled out and it ruined our holiday forever and we're never going to be able to go outside again. Then they'll be like, are you okay? And be like, oh yeah, it all got better and I cleaned the towel, that's why there's no blood. I don't really do it that extreme, but it feels like that. We tried it on in a Times Square hotel once. We're staying at a W hotel in Times Square. And the room had like, it was an okay room, but it wasn't great. Like the view wasn't like perfect, and there was like a load of exposed pipes near where the sink was. It was weird, and they were all like loose and kind of looked a bit old and grotty. And I like made such a big deal of these stupid pipes. I could have just ignored, to be honest. And then like eventually I got them to move us rooms, but then they moved us to a slightly worse room, and I was like, oh shit, that's karma for me. I shouldn't have made such a big deal about those stupid pipes. Not gonna lie, you enjoying Rebirth of the Dead? I love Rebirth of the Dead, Faz, so I think it's really good. Hey, Tactical Sky, how's it going? What else have people been saying?
Meet up here.
That guy realised that he just passed up a loadout marker. I didn't even see. This guy's got his loadout, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got his loadout. I don't know if you're talking about this guy. I've got no idea. That you might have been said that ages ago. He was trying to find out which character I play as. I play as, I think his name's Azure. A-Z-U-R. But it's like a bundle you had to buy. I just bought it because it was bald and had a big beard. An AI for Twitter like Obi-Wan. Yeah, like, call it what you want. I don't care. If you're ever in Las Vegas, Nevada, come to an MGM property and just ask for a drink or food voucher. We hand them out like Skittles. I've heard that. Like, I've heard that, like, especially at the casino hotels, that, like, if you, like, ask for, like, stuff and you're like, oh, I'm, you know, gonna spend a day on the casino floor, like, but can I have blah, blah, blah? They'll just give it to you. I've had, like, I heard that a long, long time ago. It must have been on some Reddit thread or something. But yeah, there's an element of that. There's, like, some situations where you know you can get something. And it's like, why not? It's just like, no one's losing out. The people that are giving this out, they don't give a shit. Like, it's not affecting their job at all. I'm always shocked with theme park rides. Like, if I'm on a theme park ride and it breaks down, I'm always shocked when you don't get anything and you come off and it's like, wait, what? Like, give us a fast pass or something. And it's like, if you complain, they probably will give you a fast pass, but sometimes it's not worth the effort. I mean, I'm in that argument at the moment with Expedia, where we're going on holiday next week, and we are currently booked to stay in a hotel in Paris that I don't want to go to anymore. And we're gonna come back a bit earlier, I think. And so we tried to cancel the hotel in Paris, but like we couldn't get in touch with the hotel. Like the hotel, weirdly, they shut their phone lines at like 5 o'clock or something, which is insane. So then we missed the deadline to cancel it. So then I realised, oh, we just can't do it through Expedia. So we contacted Expedia, and now they're like, oh, you missed the deadline, so you can't get a refund. And it's like, yeah, but it's not really our fault we missed the deadline. Like, the hotel was just impossible to contact. And Expedia are like, okay, we'll contact the hotel for you. We'll try and get it sorted, and we'll see if we can get you a refund. And I was like, okay. And then they were like, give us 3 days. And I gave them 3 days, and they haven't been able to contact this hotel in 3 days. And now I contacted them again and was like, this is insane. Like, this is so bad. They're like, give us another 3 days. I was like, all right, but like, this is bizarre. So if on Sunday, which when like the 3 days will be up, if they haven't been able to contact the hotel in 6 days, I'm going to kick up a massive fuss. I'm just going to be like, well, I don't want to stay in a hotel that we couldn't even contact for 6 days. Like, I demand you give us a refund, because I know Expedia probably would give us a refund. It's like, it's not even the end of the world. If they don't give us a refund, we'll just go to the hotel. I don't care that much, but I'd rather come back a bit earlier. You probably should unsub to people like Ink. Oh, like Ink Slasher. Yeah, like, I mean, Ink Slasher, like, I don't know. Ink Slasher seems like a nice guy from the brief interactions I've had with him. But obviously, his content, his subscription base is built around the latest news, which to him, you know, news is a fairly loose term. It includes leaks and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, he's not alone. IGN and Eurogamer and like Charlie Intel all do the same thing. And it's kind of, you know, if it's your business, then surely you want to give the customers what's going to make them come to your site or your videos or whatever. I just personally think it's shitty for the game community, but obviously what's good for people enjoying video games and trailers more is less important than a paycheck to a lot of people, and you know, rightfully so. Video games aren't that important. So it's like, it's difficult with like Ink Slasher. It's like, I don't think he's a bad person for doing it. I just have a very different view of kind of what I want out of the Call of Duty community. It'd be a lot easier if I just didn't give a shit. Like, a lot of the leaks and stuff I end up seeing anyway, just because people say them in my streams, or people send me like direct messages with them in, or people post them, like IGN or Eurogamer post them as a thumbnail or something. And it's like, I feel like I see a lot. I'm always pleasantly surprised when there's been a couple of like events and stuff where Maida had things spoiled for him, and then because he told me like, oh, watch out, there's spoilers or whatever, I managed to avoid spoilers, and then I managed to go into those events blind, and like that's been really cool. I really like that.
Meet up here.
I have liked it a lot. But like Modern Warfare 2 and stuff, you know, you see stuff. And it's like people are always like, well, you should just unfollow the people who post the leaks. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to follow like fucking Tom Henderson or Modern Warzone or something on Twitter because I don't want to see their stuff on my subscription feed. But like Charlie Intel, I've had someone before saying like, well, why do you like, oh, you say you're against leaks, but you follow Charlie Intel. And it's like, Charlie Intel posting leaks is a very small part of what they do. And like, Charlie Intel's such a huge part of the Call of Duty community that it's like, on balance, it's worth knowing what they're talking about because they're often the first ones to post like patch notes and stuff. They'll post about events happening. They'll post about things that are like actual Call of Duty news. And sometimes they just post fun community stuff. Like, you know, a lot of the time I'll find out about streamers or content creators and stuff through Charlie Intel. But it's just annoying that then I've also got to put up with fucking leaks. And then people are like, oh, well, on Twitter, you can just mute keywords. It's like, what, am I going to mute Modern Warfare 2 on my Twitter? That'll be great for my career. That'll be great for my job. Porn takes porn stuff still bugs you. It wasn't fun. People leaking. But what stuff? The only thing that was really, I thought, spoiled in Porn Takes Porn by people leaking was the people. It wasn't even a leak as such. It was the people glitching into the bunkers. That was the only thing that I thought was ruined in Porn Takes Porn. Was like there was meant to be this slow thing where literally every day we got into a new bunker. And instead, people had made videos in all of them because they just glitched through the wall. That was the only thing that I thought was spoiled about it. Like the other stuff, there's like some people skipped bits of the puzzles and stuff, but it didn't really affect much of it. It was like the last day, I think, people skipped ahead to the reward page. Most of the rest of it, though, people couldn't, or people didn't. Like that first day, actually finding the Porn Takes Porn website was awesome. You know, where like Noah and everyone got the projectors, and people had to go into Black Ops, and people had to like find stuff all over the internet and stuff like that. Was super cool. That was so much fun.
Need recon.
Dudes leaked the whole thing in codes. No, they didn't. What was leaked? What do you mean the whole thing in codes? None of the bunker codes were leaked. They couldn't be, because they were part of a video that didn't go up until they wanted it to. So none of the bunker codes were leaked, and none of the ciphers, the clue pages were data mined a long time before, like months and months and months and months and months before. But they were useless without the stuff that was in the videos. So we had like the cipher pages before, but it's not like anyone could work out how to use them, because we didn't have the numbers that you got from the videos. And then at the very end, they released a key on the website that changed everything anyway, and changed which numbers linked to which cipher sheets. So it was like none of that could have been spoiled before. It was like literally impossible for it to be. No one already figured it out, Mario Madness. Nobody figured out any of the ciphers. Not one of them had been solved before the videos came out. Not a one. All people had were those cipher clue sheets, and you couldn't do anything with them. Like, it wasn't just that, like, oh, we didn't have the numbers to put into them. We didn't know we were going to get numbers to put into them. Like, that didn't happen at all. The clue sheets, the cipher sheets, have been data mined, like, basically when Warzone came out. And then people came up with lots of different ideas about how they would work. And all of those ideas were wrong. Like, not any of them worked. None of them were the way that they actually ended up getting used. It was quite cool, actually, that didn't leak. That, like, there it was. And the way they did that was just by... Oh, he's got UAV. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the way they did that was by having a big part of the clues in videos that just weren't uploaded until the days. It was a very, very clever way of doing those puzzles. But I mean, that's because it wasn't Activision. It was like a third-party company doing it who specialized in doing ARG puzzles. They did a very good job of it. But frustratingly, there's still people who go around saying like, oh, well, the whole thing was data mined, so nobody actually had to work anything out. The whole thing was leaked. See, this is a problem, Mario, that you're saying there, dudes leaked the whole thing in codes, everyone wonders where you got that code from. Nobody got the code from leaks. Like, nobody got the codes from leaks. Like, that's really misleading. And then you saying that in chat, like, thankfully you're saying it in this chat where I can correct you, because that's just completely wrong. But like, if you then, like, people like you go and say it in like on Reddit or in someone's Twitter or some Discord, and other people just assume you're right and just assume it's true. And it's really annoying because like Porn Takes Porn was like the first time I did something where like we as a community, like I built the community to solve it. We like worked out most of it just in our community. And then I still have people, I still see people talk about Porn Takes Porn and being like, oh yeah, well the whole thing was just leaked and that's how it was all done. And it's like, it wasn't at all. Like, that isn't how that happened. It's very frustrating. It just kind of diminishes what we did because people just go around, people who don't understand how it was solved, go around saying like, well, it was leaked, doesn't matter. It was easy. Well, I might do a Rebirth of the Dead. Something a bit different. But yeah, nothing was solved thanks to leaks in Porn Takes Porn. The only things that were done, because like I said, people got into the bunkers because of glitches. They couldn't interact with anything or anything, but they could get inside it and look around. The clue pages had been data mined for months and months and months, but no one knew what to do with them. And someone made like a website sort of saying like, oh, this is the solution to all of them. And he was literally wrong about every single one. He was wrong about all of those. And then still I've seen people saying like, oh, he solved them, and it's like, no, he didn't. He just had an idea of how each one would work, and he was wrong about all of them. And then on the last day, there was like a link that people found rather than solving the last couple of puzzles. Instead, people just went through the code on the website and they found a link to the rewards page, and they just went straight to that. And then we went back and were like, no, we're gonna like work out how to get this the right way. And we found like 3 extra pages because they'd skipped a bunch of steps. And that was cool, like it was quite nice. You know, obviously I had a lot less people watching, so a lot of people just wanted to see the end of it. But it was quite cool that we had the people that cared about it. I think that's a lot of the people who stuck around the community were people who were like, oh, this is like the right way to do this. The average sniper's weight loss and body transformation inspired me at all. I have no idea what you're talking about, D-Will. I have no idea who the average sniper is or what you're talking about with weight loss or transformation. You're excited for whatever research coming in Warzone 2? Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm, you know, being hopeful because they've taken... they've taken a lot of... they've taken Easter eggs a lot more seriously in the last few patches. And that's kind of given me some hope that that's going to be the path forwards. I think that could be really cool. I keep looking in chat expecting Mario to say like, oh sorry, I got that wrong. But he's not, he just moves on, he just forgets about it. Like, sorry, he's literally, in this stream, Mario, you have talked about something that's leaked from Modern Warfare 2. And then you've said that all of Porn Takes Porn, the codes were leaked, just diminishing all of the stuff that we did, which is, again, not true. I thought there was a player back here. There is a player back here. Nice.
Only 20.
Ah! Couldn't see them. Too dark. He's a YouTuber who plays a lot of player on his background. He's extremely overweight, but 2 years later he's shredded. Okay, good for him. I probably won't. I don't really watch Player Unknown. Sick. Oh good, all the zombies coming back. Wait, what was that gun? Oh, that's my UTM thing. God, I lost all of that cool stuff. That's really annoying. Oh god, the gas, the gas, the gas! Whoa, okay, I might be about to turn into a zombie. Oh, he's just gone to get a thing. Oh, I'm gonna join him in a second, because I am dead. Get to this thing! I'm dead. Oh geez, drink your Coke and have a good one. What? What are you? I don't understand what you're annoyed about, D-Will. What's wrong with my Coke Zero? I feel like I'm being judged here and I'm not really sure what for. I'm very sorry if me drinking a Coke Zero is upsetting you in some way, or that I don't want to watch a Player Unknown streamer. I don't know every famous streamer. You hope Warzone movement in Warzone's more refined? Don't know what that means. Yeah, I think so, Callum. I don't know, is this guy some famous streamer, I assume? I mean, if it's some small streamer, then that's 100% what he was doing. I just never heard of him. Sorry, Snoop Dogg. That was sick. Can we all just appreciate how I just killed that man? Just brought everybody back. Coke Zero's crying now. Sometimes I do get these weird days sometimes where I get people I don't really understand in chat. I thought I was perfectly pleasant to that person. I'm horrible to some people in chat, but I thought I was quite nice to that man. Oh. Just seems like an odd thing to come into a stream and say, like, are you inspired by this person's transformation? Like, I don't know who this person is. I said good for him.
Enemy UAV active.
Could we have a better gun? Oh, did I get a loadout? Oh shit. They did get a loadout and I didn't notice. Woohoo!
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Right, let's try this ridiculous far. Shall we?
Cover your tracks. There's an Enemy team hunting.
Oh, he's left as well.
Hostile spotted.
Any tips for Rebirth of the Dead? I did a video of some tips about it, but like basically, you can get a specialist token by going to the bunkers, quite easy, but you do have to kill a bunch of zombies. Don't worry too much about getting loads of kills, because it doesn't actually help.
Infestation meters near maximum. Prepare for hell.
Throwing stunner.
Prepare for hell. Oh my god.
Using a flash!
Move to the target area.
That was very lucky. I didn't know where that person was when I started shooting. I feel like on the kill cam that'll look quite suspicious. I think the Fafar could be very good. Like, with the right, I mean, I've just got the ones that look cool at the moment, but with the right stuff, I feel like that could be.
Secure yourself. You're losing ground. Move it.
There we go. Hi, Moody. How's it going? You're never weird, Moody.
Critical danger.
How are you doing? Do, 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 do. Good, reliable Moody. I swear people have like spawn protection on this. Even though it doesn't mention it. This gun fires super fast, by the way.
Someone could use it. Enemies in the area. Gas is inbound.
Frag at them.
Oh, that was sick.
You're down a
Zombie that. Ooh.
Decided.
Your squad mate. Your squad mate is redeploying, cured, and ready to fight.
There's so many people at the end. Yeah, so when you get into this point at the end, there's no point really worrying too much
Deploying, cured, and ready to
about,
fight.
like,
Receiving intel from comms tower in the area. Enemy soldier nearby. This target is hostile.
oh god damn it! I wish my teammate hadn't been running away at the same time. Hey, he's coming to finish me. Yep. I wish I had a lot of things from Black Ops.
Slay enemy humans. Antiviral, secure yourself. Your squad mate is redeploying, cured, ready to fight. We're down a soldier.
Woo!
Dropping into the AO. Top 10.
Oh, I couldn't get him. Couldn't get him. Should have stayed alive there, probably. But I want to try and get back.
Gas is closing in.
I messed that up pretty spectacularly.
Kill enemy humans. Find antiviral. Gas is moving. Enemy into the AO.
Hey, teammate got back. Sick.
Your ally is behind the living.
Oh, were they in the bunker?
Moving in. You've got gas.
Nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, couldn't get him. Couldn't get him. Alright, let's have a look at this. The average sniper person. He got my attention. The average sniper. He's got 211,000 subscribers. So that guy definitely wasn't coming in to advertise his channel. I've got no idea what that person was doing. He was just here to tell me to go check out a streamer who plays a game that I'm not playing. And then got upset when I said I probably won't watch him. I don't understand people. No, it's not a bot.
Nice.
Fifth? That's rubbish. We did lose that one. I feel like I was doing okay. I got quite a lot of kills in that. No, I got 12. Don't know what the rest of my team were doing. Oh, there we go. You've been using the Modern Warfare AK close range. Pretty good. Modern Warfare AK? People always use the Black Ops Cold War one, don't they? I don't know anything about guns. Right, I'll try this Fafar build that I can see. So I quite like the Fafar. That was quite good. It just bounced all over the place because I wanted to use the pretty one rather than, you know, one that's actually good. What other skins do I have for it? Got fast leak after we've been talking about leaks today. I mean, that looks ugly. Hey, TJ Blades, thank you very much for the 2. Thanks for the couple of quid there. Appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Do I have any cool skins for this? No. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Thank you very much, TJ Blades. That's super kind of you. Have I played Multiverses? Yeah, I streamed a bit of it over on Twitch. I really like it, actually. I'm quite the fan of Multiverses. It's like, I mean, I'm never the sort of person who is like, you know, good at those sort of games, but I've only lost one match, actually. I think I've won 88% of my matches. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I was lucky enough that they sent me a fancy edition of it so I can like unlock all the guns and stuff like that, which is nice. Oh, this is a hideous gun, isn't it? Absolutely hideous. Let's try it. Oh, I'll stick to Rebirth of the Dead for now. I quite like Rebirth of the Dead. It's quite nice to like chill with it a little bit. I know, I really appreciate TJ Blades. I completely understand. You level 15 with Harley. I haven't used Harley yet at all. I really like Shaggy. Like, Shaggy seems to be the most OP one, or at least it was in the beta. He still seems pretty good. I didn't like the Iron Giant very much. I didn't enjoy playing as him. I'd kind of like to get good with Batman or Superman, because obviously they're going to get all the cool skins, but I don't know. Yeah, Multiverses is definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth trying. It's a lot of fun.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
Mario, if you're still in chat, can you just tell me that you understand what happened in Pawn Takes Pawn? See, this is what I was saying earlier. I don't know why it bothers me. It bothers me that you think that Pawn Takes Pawn was solved by leaks. I just want to. I want to see you say that you'd made a mistake. You know, I want to know. I shouldn't care about what my viewers think so much. I really shouldn't. It's not healthy.
Hostile dropping into the area.
It's not a healthy mindset. But I hate the idea that people are sitting there thinking like, probably the biggest thing that I've achieved with the channel was something that was done solved with leaks. But no, but that's I think maybe it's a language thing. The codes weren't posted. The ciphers were posted. The ciphers were posted, but they were useless without the number sequences that we didn't have until the videos. Like, you couldn't do anything with them. And we didn't even know we were going to get number sequences or how long they would be or anything like that. Literally until they were posted. You couldn't, like, there's like no possible way to solve those until the, until it was time. Until it was, like, the time you had to do it, the day you could do it. Yeah, I really like TJ Blades. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. A couple of the redeem codes you kind of remember in chats. Well, yeah, like once people solved it, then they once things were solved, then they posted the redeem codes. And like I said, the very last day, people just used, like, looked at the source of the website and skipped to their end. But that was literally just the last day. People skipped, like, the last 3 puzzles, I think. Bear in mind, this was something that went on for like 3 months. But on the last day, some people skipped ahead. We didn't know. We solved it the proper way and we showed how to complete every puzzle. Oh, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I used to stream from my couch all the time. Back in the day. I still think Mario thinks that more was done with data mines than it was. It's gonna always annoy me now that there's someone out there that thinks that Pawn Takes Pawn was solved with leaks.
Damn you!
Well, I didn't understand how I got shot the first time. I need to stop reading chat when I'm playing. Me asking people not to take the keycards out of the stadium, yeah. That was very frustrating, that kept on happening. Right, I need to actually do something useful. Hey, Brooke, by the way. I really like Pawn Takes Pawn. It's one of those things where it was like, there was no downside to it. God damn it. I didn't realise there was like 3 people there. No, TJ Bay, like I said, the only elite stuff, as I've said many times, the only elite stuff was the ciphers that were completely useless. Just some people were going around saying that they'd solved them, but they hadn't. And then the... Why did my gas not go off? That's annoying. Oh. Yeah, so the ciphers, all of those sheets, you know, they had puzzle like layouts on them. They leaked like months and months and months and months before. But no one could do anything with them. Like, people came up with theories about how they'd be solved, but they were all wrong. Like, no one managed to get it right. And then the... So yeah, the ciphers themselves were leaked. And then the... people glitched into the bunkers. So people had already seen inside all of the bunkers that were the things that we were meant to be unlocking by watching the videos. And then on the last day, there was like some people, like just the links to... the links that like took you to where you could get the codes to redeem stuff to get like the badges and stuff. That... oh my God. That, someone just found a link right at the end to be able to, like, get all of that stuff before you were meant to. And, like, so everyone was just going and getting, like, the, you know, calling cards or whatever it was that you got. Everyone was getting that stuff before you were meant to. Woo! Zork. I'm really doing terribly in this. I'm not paying any attention. You're on the fence if you can download the Midnight Society stuff. I mean, I think it's just going to be insanely simple. That's kind of what I'm assuming. Why did I just get sent back twice? That's weird. Oh, how did I die?
Enemy soldier nearby.
I was literally doing a finishing move. It's like he shot me while I was doing a finishing move. Maybe he had fire rounds or something. Oh yeah, now you correct yourself. I see. You try to avoid everything and solve it. There's a lot of that though, Callum. Like there's so many things, like with a lot of the porn takes porn and the Warzone Easter eggs as well. No one ever really cares about who did most of it first, because it's like it's so hard to prove like who worked something out first or who did something. Like with a lot of my stuff, like obviously I'll like solve stuff, but then it'll take me a while before I put a tweet out. Probably like not normally, you know, it'll be a few seconds or a few minutes. But then it'll be hours before I put a video out, but then because I'm streaming. But then somebody who's not streaming can put a video out way quicker than I can. And then, you know, I always sort of think of it in terms of, well, I'll stream it all live, so then people can't accuse me of cheating or whatever. People can see every little thing that we work out. People can see everything we do. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. People still say that I'm cheating, and people still say that I'm, like, getting help from Activision or something, which is, you know, frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. No one really cares who was first in the end. It sort of bothers me that they've never done a thing with Call of Duty where it's like a proper race to see who's first. Like, I know they've done little bits of like, oh, you know, with zombies they did a little bit where they would tweet out whichever team got it first and stuff, and so, you know, you get a little bit of recognition. But even then, it's like people start at different times, people have advantages where some people are working stuff out before it goes live, and there's all weirdness. It's like Destiny do it really well, where Destiny have like a contest mode for 24 hours first day of the raid, where people who are super serious about it can go in. Everybody's at the same gear score, so no one's got an unfair advantage. It unlocks at exactly the same time for everybody. They have like ways to authenticate who got it first, like you even get a badge in game for being first. And it's like, I kind of wish they did something like that for Call of Duty and took it really seriously. Like turned it into an event, you know, turned it into like a almost like an esports type thing, like turned it into a streaming event. But World of Warcraft do it too as well with, well, they don't do it officially, like the community does it, but I think that's quite a lot of fun as well.
Come out on top.
The amount of wild theories we've had, I'm surprised anyone thought we were getting help. I know, right? It's like, it is I find it utterly bizarre that people like you can literally watch the streams, watch the amount of stupid stuff that we try, watch the amount of dead ends we go down. Even that, like when we got that zombies world first with D Machine with Noah and that, like you can watch that whole stream from beginning to end, from everybody. I don't think Starburst was streaming actually, but me, Pizza and Noah were all streaming, so you can see that whole thing. Oh my god, I forgot I was a zombie. You can see that whole thing from beginning to end, from multiple different viewpoints, and you can see how many times we got stuff wrong, how many times we messed stuff up. And then people are still like, oh yeah, well, like, Noah just got told what to do for every step. It's like, They must think we're the best actors in the world. Like, really, really good actors at just doing nothing for half an hour and acting confused and then working stuff out. You fobbed off World of Warcraft. Yeah, I've reinstalled it, but I haven't paid for a subscription yet. I still do want to go back to World of Warcraft. Like, I quite like some of the stuff I'm hearing about the new Dragonflight thing. I just don't have a server to go to. I want to start a new character. And it's like, I don't have a server where there's people I know on it. And like, I feel like World of Warcraft is so much better with a good server. I did land in water, yes. You'd love to see more of the pawn takes pawn type of Easter egg in Warzone. Yeah, I mean, like, that was them. Like, they literally hired an external company to make it all. I don't feel like we're gonna get stuff like that again. Maybe, you know, it'd be cool, but I don't think we are. Right. Do-do-do. Like, I'm just all like distracted by that D Will guy coming in here and being like, I was just looking back at his messages and trying to work out what I said wrong. But he said, has the average sniper, who was a YouTuber who I didn't know about, has his weight loss and body transformation inspired you at all? And I said, I don't know who that is. And he said, he's a YouTuber that plays a lot of PUBG. He was extremely overweight, but 2 years later he's shredded. Check his channel out when you can, the average sniper. And I was like, I probably won't, because I don't watch PlayerUnknown streamers. But like, good for him. And then he said, oh geez, drink your Coke and have a good one. And then an eye rolling emoji. What was that about? That's so weird. It's just like, is he saying like, oh, you're overweight and you're drinking a, I mean, to be fair, a Coke Zero. But you're overweight, so you should watch someone who lost a load of weight. Like, it's a weird thing to come in and like immediately like shame someone for being overweight. I don't know. Bloody rude. There's no fun in being told the steps. Didn't think the devs would even tell if anyone noticeable asked like Noah. No, they wouldn't. Like, but also like Noah wouldn't ask because he like his whole content is about working the stuff out. Like, that's the fun bit of it. It's not just doing it. And like the developers, yeah, like the whole point is they're giving a puzzle. Why would they spend ages making a puzzle and then just immediately tell someone on the first day how to do it? Like, that just seems like a waste of time. If anything, they get annoyed that we solve it so quickly, I think, because it like means that it, you know, makes it look a bit silly and makes it look a bit easy. It's very, very odd, that whole thing. I would say I have had help from Activision people, from like Raven stuff. And the extent of the help is normally there is something to look for or there isn't. Like, that's it. Sometimes we'll be looking for stuff and I'll be like, is there actually anything going on here? Like, is there anything to look for? And then they'll say yeah or no. Like, that's the extent of it. And I always talk about it on stream when they have said something. But it's like, that's because I don't want to waste my time for ages looking for something that's not actually there. And then when there was the Krampus event, then after days of no one finding anything, then someone who worked at Raven was like, oh, there is something that no one's found yet. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I did a stream. I streamed for hours, didn't find anything. And they were like, oh, you have to kill loads and loads and loads of Krampuses. So I was like, oh, okay. So I spent ages, like literally like 8 hours just killing Krampuses again and again and again and again. And then he was like, oh, it's bugged. And I was like, oh, shit. But that's the extent of the help I've had from developers. Yeah. But I mean, that's really important not to not to do it. Anyway, I need to go now because I have to go to the doctor's. That's a lot of fun. So I will see all of you. I might be back on tonight for when this Midnight Society thing launches. If I get it downloaded and it's not too late in the day, because it's not meant to come out till like at the earliest, like 10 o'clock at night. If I get it downloaded and stuff, I will hop on, try it out on stream, make a video about it. But we will see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure whether I'll do that or not, and I think it's going to probably be crap. But we'll see. So, might see some of you later. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.